what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning it is. What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, getting ready here for our morning live stream. It's Thursday morning. Good morning. Great morning. We have a CTM live training session after this at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Looking forward to sharing with you all there. Right now, let's take a look at the markets together. Let's see what's going on. Let's continue to make sure that we stay on the right side of the market. And that's what we do. Let's do what we do best. Just keep on the pulse of the market, right? It's by doing that. It's by doing our analysis, putting the work in every day that all of a sudden the matrix becomes clear. The matrix becomes clear, and it seems to all fit together and make a lot of sense. Let's do that. Equity markets, by the way, are just holding on unchanged over here, not doing much. Just a little bit off all-time highs. And all of them. Do you remember all the way back? A lot of you have been following the channel for a long time now. A lot of you started following the channel back in April, right? Remember back in April when I said, well, I don't know what happens next in the stock market. It could either go down to 2,600 or all the way up to 4,100. It wasn't until about a month later that I said, all right, forget about it. Just no one even short the market. We're just keeping long sides over here. Here we are now. 3,800. The market has become unattractive and remains unattractive. Are equities risky at these levels? I don't think so. A lot of people calling this week we're gonna have insolvency events that cause a market crash because of just a lot of stuff that takes about an hour to explain. When something is complicated, guess what? It's normally not correct. Either which way, here we are. Equities have gone sideways ever since. What are we looking at? For about a month. For the last month, equities are exactly where they have been. I said they're unattractive. There's a reason for it, and they remain as such. Right back where we were just 1 month ago. Nasdaq a little bit higher. What about the dollar? Dollar into the channel resistance right over here. This is a big event for the dollar right now. This video was put out on the DXY. It was the first Monday of the new year in the afternoon. I put out a video focused on the DXY, showing where this trend line resistance comes from. It comes from a bigger view. If you just zoom out, we're in this big channel. We broke down out of it. We're coming back in and testing it. None of us are surprised by that. We were looking for that. Maybe we would have gone a little bit lower to 88.40 support. If we could have gone all the way down there, and then a retest of this channel is what we're looking for. It's a big moment right now to see whether or not it breaks above. If it breaks above, then we're in this range between 92.20 and 92.50. Brad has that resistance laid out very clean over here on this DXY chart. This DXY chart gives us this whole move ever since the Fed acted. Here's where the Fed acted, right? This is the whole move. This is the first point over here. This one didn't hold. Tried to get long somewhere else. It didn't hold. This one looks like it's holding. We broke outside the trend line. Right now, even though inside I'm bearish on the dollar, I am not bearish on the dollar at all. The technicals are showing me something completely different. The last time that happened to me was right over here when we broke down the support of this trend line. If you can see my mouse, if you can't see my mouse, it started at the end of March 2020, and then we had trend line support going for about another month through the end of, 2 months later, April into the end of May. When we broke that, I became a dollar bear. Speaking of which, I saw this interview, speaking of dollar bulls, I saw this interview yesterday with Brent Johnson because it said dollar milkshake theory in 2021. So I said, I got to see this. I got to see this. In this video, Brent goes on to admit, oh, listen, I had it wrong. I was wrong. Clearly, I'm wrong now that the dollar is down all year, right? So, Brent, why? You were arguing with everyone all year long, people telling you what side was the right side of the trade, and now you're like, now he's like, let's listen to him for a moment. Let's listen to him for one moment. It's really.
Now the question, so if people need me to say I was wrong, I'm happy to say that. I mean, all you have to do is look at your screen and to see that the dollar's at a 2 to 3 year low and know that, that it's wrong.
Yeah. But we didn't need for it to, we saw it happening in real time, Brent. And we let you know, and you were kind of like feisty on Twitter when it was just brought to your attention. That's fine. I don't know how someone can make a living. Because Brent goes on, I'm going to show. Let me finish. Let's let him finish, and then I'll go on.
And so when people say, Brent, how can you not see inflationary pressures? Lumber's gone through the roof, copper's gone through the roof, oil's up, wage pressure starting to happen. Yeah, I see this. I'm not going to deny that we've had inflationary pressures for the last 9 months.
No, it's not the last 9 months. We've had inflationary pressures ever since 2008 when the Fed instituted QE. Of course, there's been a huge war with tech being so deflationary. Of course, there have been, we've seen yields on the dollar suppressed by QE, but everything around us, everything that I spend my money on has gone up in price. When I go to the grocery store, I'm paying not only more expensive for the package, there's less in it than there used to be. If you can't see the inflation, you can't see. He goes on to say anyway, and I just need to point this out so I can move on. He goes on to say, well, listen, that's the crowded trade. Everyone sees it. Everyone sees the inflationary trade right now. That's the consensus trade. I don't believe in the consensus trade. I'm over here saying we're going to see a strong dollar again because right now, Brett, I could not feed my family and make a living. If I was not right, if I was on the wrong side of the trade for that long. I don't know how he does it. Maybe he doesn't trade his own money. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm writing off Brent here for good. I wrote him off. Is he a nice guy? I have no idea. Not in my book. All right, here we go. Let's keep going, everyone. Let's get into this over here. Let's see what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin trading at $37,500. $37,500. Everyone's wrong in the markets. The market will humble everyone, but you're not humble if you're just like, yeah, I was wrong, but I'm probably right now. I mean, get on the right side of the trade. You're either on the right side of the trade or you're not on the right side of the trade. But if you're not on the right side of the trade, you best not talk about it to other people, right? You best not be trying. People are maybe not as formed as you. They're listening to your opinion and listening to what you say, and they're getting wrecked out there. That's not cool. Anyway, Bitcoin, 37,500. I put out this tweet last night, and it's the truth, right? 38,000 feels really good on Bitcoin. Bitcoin priced anything above is simply cruising and crushing. What do we got from here? Do we have a 10x? Are we going to see $380,000 Bitcoin? I doubt it, but who knows? Are we going to see a 7 times it? Are we going to see a $280,000 Bitcoin? That could be. Let's get it if it comes. Let's get it if it comes. So that feels really good to see Bitcoin trading back around 38,000, just below that right now, holding up pretty well. We'll look at Ethereum in a second. Ethereum's also looking great, even though it's down a little bit today. Yeah, we see DeFi gangbuster once again, coming out of the consolidation trendline break, just crushing it, right? But before we go, let's focus on Bitcoin. By the way, Michael Saylor has gone. They had yesterday. It says 5,656 people joining their Bitcoin conference track yesterday. There was almost 21,000 officially registered, right? If you missed the season videos, they uploaded them all. You could go to Bitcoin for Corporations, and you could, right here on microstrategy.com, and you could watch all of the videos. Michael, your price's contribution to this monetary revolution will always be remembered. Absolutely. Absolutely. Michael was absolute fire yesterday. That was some beautiful, beautiful stuff. I'm so glad we were there together to take that all in. A lot of people were not like CTM. A lot of people just seeing the live stream joining. They couldn't take the noise. They could not take the noise. They couldn't focus on signal. There you go. That says it right there. Question: after the conference, what would be the reasoning for a bear market over a super cycle? A super cycle has never happened before. A super cycle has never happened before. What would be? I mean, a super cycle would mean like there was no bear market in Bitcoin. That's not how. This is over here. By the way, if you want to know where this chart is, Bitcoin price after halvings, you could go to Plan B on Twitter. Go through his media. It was posted recently, within the last week or so, or less. You'll be able to find that clicking through. But this is Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, right? Here's the first cycle. Here's the second cycle. This right here, light blue one, is the third cycle. All right, Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle. If you don't know about the 4-year cycle, go ahead and look on the playlist of this channel. A lot of people inside Bitcoin do not understand Bitcoin's 4-year cycle. We have now Dan Held. We looked at it on the channel, I think yesterday, talking about Are we going to have a super cycle? He's like, yeah, I'm the first one to talk about a super cycle, even though other Bitcoiners have talked about the point of hyper-Bitcoinization before, but no one's ever used the term super cycle before. So this is the first time you're hearing super cycle. Well, that's great, right? But does that mean it's going to happen? No. Does that mean he's trying to get on some podcasts? Probably, right? What we see here is a very, very, very clear pattern over here. The bull market phase over here peaking in exhaustion, right? You could have, by the way, Lemmy pointed out to me yesterday this beautiful chart. I wanted to share it with you. I don't have it right now. But, in the capitulation phase, when the price goes vertical, you could have 100% gain, as you saw more than that in the 2017 blow off top over here in just a matter of weeks. And that's going to be the signal of the end. It's the same thing on the downside. You remember, you have capitulation on the downside. Here it is in the last cycle. Everyone's familiar when price was hugging that descending wedge and then finally crushed down over there, putting in that cycle low. We know where the cycle low is, roughly 18 to 12 months to the next halving in this area, the accumulation area. This is the bear market. It ends on a vertical capitulation and then on a capitulation to the downside. It's always going to go that way on the upside and downside, and the bear market's in between, accumulating into the next halving and do it all over again. Do I believe in a super cycle? I will be exiting my Bitcoin at the top of this bull market. I will be exiting it, paying my taxes, and understanding that accumulating in for the next cycle is going to build me way more wealth than just holding through all of this wood. Will I hold any Bitcoin at the top of the peak? Of course. I think there's about a 5% chance, maybe a 7% chance that Bitcoin could become the world reserve currency. I'll hold that much in Bitcoin. Maybe the following cycle, after Bitcoin has overtaken gold's market cap, maybe after that, I will think, oh, maybe now there's a 14% chance or a 20% chance Bitcoin could become the world reserve currency. And at the top of that cycle, I'll be holding on to more. But if you want to create generational wealth, it's not about just holding. It's playing the cycle. What else? Bitcoin looking beautiful, right? It's just it took out the last swing high. It has not resumed. It has not we don't have a push. But right now we're just seeing a small little pullback. It looks beautiful. It looks perfect. T minus what? 30 days, 25 days. Generally here in the past bull market cycles, you're looking at a period of 30 to 60 days before Bitcoin resumes out of its 30% drawdown. We are in the later half of that. It could be, any day now. Should we be worried about the downside? You should always be worried about the downside. What happens over here if we pull back and we pull back into this outer trend line over there? That would be entirely healthy. Is it possible we pulled back into that support over here, that trend line support? We drew that line in months ago. Do you remember? Months ago we drew that line in. Yeah, that's possible. We come into 29,000, 29,500. If we break down there, we could go much lower. I think a 38% drawdown would be somewhere around 26,000. That would be one of those capitulation moves, and it would spring right back up, in my opinion, probably making the new all-time high within days. If that were to occur, right now, everything just looks good. Always be worried about your downside. Ethereum US dollar breaking out, price discovery yesterday, looking beautiful, right? And now just here, there you go, the first pullback. Great. It looks amazing. Ethereum versus Bitcoin, we've been tracking this hard and carefully. This was the trend line break over there that we started really paying attention to. Piecing it over here, again over here, watching the consolidation. Came in, retest, resumption out. Not yet new all-time highs, but looks fantastic. Australian dollar, US dollar, we were watching this one yesterday during the live stream yesterday morning, talking about what was happening as price came back into this area of support over here, looking to hold, giving an entry as it resumed off there, coming back in right now for another retest. I said, I don't know. Is it going to be the first bounce, the second, the third, or the fourth? Or it goes up. Either way, it's the same stop loss. That's why I take the first. Over here, though, coming back, pulled back right now. And if it resumes off again, that gives another opportunity for someone who's not in it to get in it right now. As the dollar, as the DXY is trading towards that channel resistance at the same time. So we're going to get that rejection. By the way, if we get the rejection, it takes us back into the Winthrop line over here, right? You want to that's probably going to hold as support, right? If it doesn't, then we go probably by that time we've fallen back into this channel. No, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to go further than where we are right now. What else? I wanted to look at what is going on here. Euro, British pound. This is a trade we set up for how many weeks? For how many weeks do we have the patience, the stalking of a predator? Does a predator just jump and attack? Right? What was the signal here that drew us to it? We saw the euro weakening. We were watching that in our daily analysis, going over the pulse of the market. We saw not just versus the dollar, but versus everything else, the euro was kind of lagging where it had been a leader in a lot of 2020, right? We saw that Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, the commodity currencies had been the strongest. Yen and dollar continue to be weak. Yen continues to be weak. Dollar is kind of like just consolidating in an upward slope right now. Not really doing much, right? But we knew the euro was weak after the Brexit deal, right? We saw the pound starting to appreciate slowly against everything. That was very clear. The clearest thing I saw going on in FX, strength versus weakness. We saw what was happening over here. I had over here, let's see, like something like this possible trend channel. We broke out to the downside. That set up the trade, right? Then the breakdown. Look over here. It continues to resume off, taking out an important support here this morning, continuing to go lower, now targeting down over here at 0.868. A breakdown below there will really send this. By the way, if you got into this trade, do you get out of this trade now? Right? You just got in. You got into your trade. All of a sudden, it just dumped into profit, taking out a support. Are you taking profit here? Do you cut your winners short? Right? Is that how you do it? By cutting your winners short? Euro New Zealand dollar also now bleeding down into the support. Another one that we were really focused on and tracking. I only had this morning a few pairs that we've been following highlighted over here. Notice how all of them are dumping towards the direction that we had them pegged. The question is, are you getting out of your trade too early, or are you letting those trades run? Pound, Japanese yen, again, we were talking about that pound appreciation, targeting now up here in this trend line over here. I've talked about why I'm not going to get into it right now, because everyone here is here every day, and they follow what's going on over here, right? And if you're not, and if you're new, welcome. I am glad you are here. I'm glad the algorithm, and if you're here this morning and you learned anything new, or you appreciate what's being shared, go ahead and smash that like button. Not only that, maybe even copy the share link. Go ahead, please, please, please support this channel. I really just attracts other people that make this so special, and I'm grateful for all of it. Where are we going now? What are we looking at now? That's the question. So let me come back down to an 8-hour though, right? So you can see the break of this last resistance, the pullback, resuming off now. By the way, that's a bull flag right now. Everyone can see that's a bull flag. There's the breakout. What do you do now? What do you do now if you're now attracted to this trade? Now you wait, because there's no way you chase momentum, ever. How do you know if you're chasing momentum? Go ahead and pull up the true trend, right? Go pull up the true trend over here. Anytime you see this blue entry CCI, entry for entries in the direction of the trend, right now the trend is up. You see the trend CCI green, right? Anytime you're taking a trade with the entry CCI in the direction of the trend, you're chasing momentum. And most likely, you're going to get burnt quickly. Always look for this to be pulled back, the entry CCI to be pulled back away from the trend. And then as it snaps up, as price makes the higher high, that's your entry. That's entries 101. A lot of people are focused on entry. Entry is the easy part. It's literally the easy part. It's about managing trade. It's about managing risk. You cannot know your position size unless you know where your stop loss is. Your position size is dependent on how far away your stop loss is from entry. You have to get that right before anything else, or you will never, ever, ever get this right. You will never, ever be successful. Few are, few listen. Few share. Few that are successful share. We share. I share. There we go. Yeah, 100%. That's all I'll be focused on. My exit of Bitcoin, when it's happening, the pocket is going to be right. It's going to be towards the end of September, and then on into December, finding out where that top is, finding out where, and of course, every day I'm going to be in it with you. I'll definitely share exactly the moment I'm exiting and why. A lot of people will say I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm not trying to, I don't need to be right. I'm already right, right? I don't need to have the perfect exit to be successful. I set the goal anyway. The math I did, Bitcoin reaches 140,000, I've met all my goals. That doesn't mean that's where I'm going to exit. If I could exit at $280,000, for sure I'm going to. I'll do my best. But a lot of people are not going to like my exit, but I'll share it with you. I will definitely be sharing it with you. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for being here. You know, everyone in each one, especially those that smash the like button. Let's take it back over here, right? Let's just take it back. There's not too much going on, first of all, right? It's kind of a slow day, and that's awesome. The markets are perfectly healthy, perfectly in order. Everything is playing out exactly as we want it to, exactly as we see it. Whether or not I'm going to do some work over here and look at the markets, I just want to focus on a little bit of learning experiences over here. You notice it was over here this morning with all of you as price was spiking up, and I saw gold, Bitcoin, this is what you're looking at, gold, Bitcoin right now, right? What do we know that happens to gold and Bitcoin at this point of Bitcoin's 4-year cycle? Gold is going to get destroyed. They compete versus each other, gold and Bitcoin, in certain senses, right? They are competitors. That's why you have the meme gold, digital gold, or gold 2.0, Bitcoin, right? So right now, gold doesn't stand a chance versus Bitcoin, right? Gold doesn't stand a chance versus silver right now under these market conditions, these easy market conditions by the Fed. Gold doesn't stand a chance with silver. That's another easy trade that I've pointed out, but this one's easier. But I just want to focus in on what you should be looking for, what you should be seeing. First, instead of making things difficult or going for GME, I know no one here traded GME, but what I mean being attracted to the like where you can make money the quickest. Look for what you believe to be the most certain. The turtle, the tortoise, is what wins the race. There's no tortoise here anyway. Anyway, over here we could see this downtrend. Bitcoin was pulling back 30%. As Bitcoin pulled back 30% on the chart over here, you could see what we were seeing, this bit of a wedge pattern to forming. It was a bearish pattern. We talked about it as it was forming, talking about the entry being into the resistance, right? That morning when this gold was up 12% versus Bitcoin, we just put the sniper sights on it and said that's where we attack. Came down, came back up, another place to attack. Now breaking down outside. A lot of traders buy over here or sell over here or over here. They sell. They're chasing the price. They're chasing the momentum. You have to be preemptive of a momentum. Here's exactly how that looks. We were involved in it in real time, so I feel like I could talk about it, right? So, and here it is. And I just want to ingrain it in your brain so that this is what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for, because I know that a lot of people like things like poke. This is a perfect moment. Let's go look at it. At poke, dot is up. Oh no, dot. Aave is up 17% today. A lot of traders this morning looking at coin market cap, and they're like, oh yeah, Aave, DeFi is leading the way. That keeps happening. I know it keeps happening, right? So do I want to get in? And then they look at this and they're like, all right, well, let me go in now. And then all of a sudden you have the next bit of consolidation. Boom. Oh my goodness, I just lost 20%. I got to exit. And then all of a sudden, boom, next leg up. You got to get your timing down. You got to get your timing down. And the only way you get your timing down is by stop trading, start paying attention to what we do here every day until you see it and you're preemptive of the market and you're able to get in. It won't take long. You have a wonderful support group over here. You have an amazing support group over here of amazing people that make me a better person every day. I'm grateful for each and every one of them, right? I don't even, whether it's Alan, sharing about crypto in the Discord, Brandon on YouTube and in Discord, working together in tandem with Alan, and then Heath. They were all live together yesterday. If you didn't check that out, listen, I have 5 kids and a lot going on at the house. I wasn't able to be there. I wanted to. I set a reminder on YouTube. If you missed it, go check out Trade Talk or Crypto Trades and Tech. Find out what channel they stream that to. Go watch that. All All right, let's keep going over here. Let's keep going over here. And from so many people, speaking of which, but I'm going to get into that, Gene. I'm going to get into what you and Greg are doing over in the systematic CTM in the training with the CTM group alone. Then I'm going to be talking about what you guys are doing. Great stuff going on everywhere. Thoughts about memes, right? Sorry about that. Great question over here. CME launching on Monday for Ethereum. What does it mean? Is that going to be the top in Ethereum? Do you remember going back into the December 2017, the top of the bull market over here? Do you remember that the CME launched the futures market over here? Let me come down right exactly, find the top with you because it warrants it. Over there. There it is. Right over here. The CME launched. They launched the futures on Bitcoin and they stopped Bitcoin. They stopped Bitcoin and they caused this bear market. Wait, what? Wait a second. Wait, Bitcoin was getting ready to peak at its cycle top before the CME futures launched. It had been going vertical into it, right? Just as it was supposed to, just as it's going to be doing. Again, between this point, I don't think this cycle, obviously, is going to be as parabolic as the first, right? And it clearly looks like it's going to be more than the 2017 cycle. So it looks like, and this yellow line is something in the average of the two, right? So that's what it looks like we're looking at right now, as we're pretty much the average between the two, right? So will we have a 19x, or will it be greater from the halving event, right? Looks like it's going to be greater. Does this cycle look like it's going to peak on Monday because the CME is launching futures? No. One of the greatest, bits of scams that Wall Street has pulled was when they basically took credit for the top of Bitcoin, because they made everyone in crypto believe that they were a lot stronger than they are, and they're not. It was just a coincidence. What happens on Monday when CME launches? I hope a lot of people go long Ethereum, because if they're smart, they will. Because Ethereum is just getting started over here on its bull market run. It's got a lot of time to go. We're talking, again, earliest, in my opinion, end of September. That this thing is going to run. Is it going to be running towards 10,000? 15,000? 1,500? I'm sorry, 15,000? I don't know. I don't want to put a price target on it so much as knowing when to exit. Knowing when to exit is going to be right after we exit Bitcoin. Right after I announce I'm exiting Bitcoin, really keep a sharp eye on the price action of Ethereum. We'll do it together. Even though I am not invested in Ethereum and I am invested in Bitcoin, I have a passion for the markets. I'm going to get it as right as I can. And then after that, you better be watching altcoins and be getting ready to exit all of your altcoins, because they are going to be really going euphoric and then really crashing. Will it be DeFi? I imagine DeFi continues to lead this whole cycle. It makes every sense in the world that decentralized finance, Wall Street bets getting taken down by the media. Did you see the Washington Post was like, wait, it's not the hedge funds and short sellers who are the bad guys here. The media. Trust the media at an all-time high right now because of things exactly like that. Right? So, and then you see the SEC coming after people posting on social media, people who posted quote-unquote disinformation. What did they post? They post that, listen, there's more than the entire float of the stock short. There's 130% short the stock. How do they even issue more shares than there are? Let's go ahead and let's take them out. That's not disinformation, but you can't do that if it hits us where it hurts. So Ethereum on Monday, as the futures are launched, not event. I'm watching price, following price. Could there be volatility? I don't know. I don't think it'll be a big deal. I'm calling it a non-event. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So I'm just reading some comments. That's why I got quiet for a second. Ooh, $20,000 this cycle. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Look, don't ever. You're going to get completely wrecked if I look at something, if I'm interested in it and you buy it. You're wasting money. You're going to lose your money. There's no question about that. And I say that with the greatest love because I don't want you to lose money. I want you to be able to make money in the markets. But instead of doing something silly about that, unless you did it on a demo account, like join the course, find out what you need to do and how you need to do it, which costs next to nothing. Did you hear the New Yorker? Costs. It costs next to nothing. Yeah, and the value, you cannot even put a price on it. So, you have to invest in yourself. I'm investing in myself every single day, all the time. Always looking to learn more, always looking to better myself. You have to put the work in, and I put the work in. It's through the struggle that it's all going to shine. Anyway, where are we going? 649 likes, right? Jordan, do you think your course could be useful for a person that's not a trader? Yes and no. Listen, let's say that you are not even an investor and you just want and you're watching these live streams. Do I think it makes sense to plug into the community deeper, right? To watch and have access to all of my live training sessions and the Discord group where we all talk about everything, right? From stocks to crypto to Ethereum to Bitcoin to the metals, everything. And do I think that you want to be surrounded by that group of people? 100%. If you're an investor and not a trader, is that going to help you? 100%. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Yeah, the CME is irrelevant, right? The CME futures markets are going east anyway, right? Gold is right now is going to be eventually traded probably in Shanghai. Don't worry. Boom, 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 boom. Jason, you could always ask. I don't really watch the comments too often. I'm not watching the chart, so I don't get to see it. Yeah, I know it is. Thank you, Joe. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not about that. But if if it was free, believe me, people would not make the commitment. People don't value information that is free. They would not put the work in. It requires your work to succeed. It requires dedication and discipline. I try to pass that on to everyone over here. I really do. Notice that we're here every day. It's that discipline. It's that dedication. It's important. XLM, a lot of people have been asking to look at XML for a while. Which should we pick? I'm going to pick Kraken. All right. I heard Kraken's not accepting any more customers, U.S. customers. That might be true. But I've said before, people are always like, why? Just have as many on and off ramps as possible. Just do it now, so it's done, and you have as many options as possible. It's always better to have options. All right. So anyway, XLM, how does it look? If I'm not familiar with something, I gotta get the 3-day. Oh my goodness, here's our trend line, right? We finally broke out of it. We finally broke out from the top of the what? I'm gonna show you something else in 1 second. This is the top of the altcoin bull market, led by Bitcoin in its 4-year cycle. Right? Bear market, this gets crushed. Now finally broken out, retest, resumption up. I mean, it could not look any more better than this. This looks entirely bullish over here, right? And then you can see this little bit, developing over here. But it looks great coming down into that support over there. That was resistance, broken, finally firming up the support. It's consolidating in this level right now. So if you're waiting to attack, you got to wait for the breakout. This is not enough of a support to play it off of, I don't think. I would wait for the breakout. And let's see what happens with this pullback that started not just on Bitcoin but Ethereum, right? Is this just a little bit of a nice controlled pullback and then we continue this move up? Or is this the start of something bigger? Are we going to come back out and test that big resistance over here, right? Could Ethereum pull back over to the 1430 area? Of course. Will they blame it on CME? Probably. Right? Doesn't matter. Could Bitcoin come back? We already looked at that. All right? So you got to have the timing there. What else are we looking at? Yeah. So what's amazing about Mexico is you could just go down to the Salinas, one of the third richest man in Mexico. By the way, he has 10% of his liquid net worth into Bitcoin, and that was going back when Bitcoin was trading, I don't know, let's call it around $15,000 that he announced that, right? So he understands money. They run a bunch of silver mines. He understands silver. He wanted to get the peso backed by silver. He understands money. If Mexico backed the peso by silver, Do you know how fast and hard the peso would appreciate in a moment? It would probably become one of the strongest currencies in the world. Obviously, they're not going to do that. But either which way, you have an advocate, right? Salinas, advocating for it. He has this store. It's called Electra, where they sell like all sorts of appliances. Whether it's dishwashers or whatever, washing machines. And you could go to the window in the back, and they have a little bank, and you could buy physical silver right from there. Pretty neat. I stocked up on all my physical a long time ago. I have no need to buy at this point. Will I go ahead and whether it's a vault in Singapore or whatever at the top of the bull market, parlay some funds back into precious metal? It depends what the dollar's doing at that point and what I think the dollar is going to be doing over the next year, right? So I don't know right now. We'll figure it out as it comes. 712 likes with 1,800 people in here. Yeah, let's take a look at gold and silver. Silver coming down now over here into the important support at 26. 26 has been a big level. This is a very important moment over here. On the way up over here, it was always once you get above 26, that's when it's looking good. That gave the entry, the breakout, the retest into 26, and then the resumption right there back into that level of 26, and price coming down hard, down 3% already. Need to see where that happens today. If this holds today and resumes off, that gives a beautiful entry opportunity on silver. Golden. Make sure that you're watching it, right? Could we break down here and come down and all the way test down towards 25, maybe even a little bit lower? This trend line over here and this horizontal support. Yes, if that occurs, you don't want to hold really from 26 down to 25. That's a long way to go. However, that still has the bullish, technical break in play over here. The breakout. By the way, if you get a breakout or retest down to here, and the resumption could be enormous. It could be enormous coming back down to 25, a little bit lower, down towards 24.80, thereabouts. That's all bullish if it holds. And if we trade below there, the 24.32 support we have over there, that's bad news bears. That will become bad news bears. So we'll see what happens. Just like we're going to see what happens here. Will the dollar and what happens on the dollar affect that at all? I think so. If the dollar is able to break back above, right, we have the dollar, right, in that strong downtrend. We sell resistance in a downtrend, but if it gets it at above this area of resistance and the dollar is attacking towards 94.70 and we have actually a strong dollar, right? Right now we just have the dollar and you can see this pattern. This is a wedge, right? You can see this consolidation pattern that's happening right over here, and that's very bearish if it breaks down. But right now, yeah, we could put more pressure on the precious metals. What's going on? Great soul food. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting a lot out of this food that we share here every day. That means a lot to me, right? So, yes, of course, the gold and silver markets are the most manipulated markets there are, right? What did JP Morgan recently pay? How much was their fine for manipulating the metals markets? It was enormous. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they made much more money manipulating the market than they did paying their fine, right? So it's all good. So that's silver. Silver's at a very super important juncture over here. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it, and we'll see what happens next over here. But 2021, this chart looks entirely bullish to me. It looks super, super bullish. 2021, I do believe we're going to see all-time highs taking out $50 in silver. I believe it. What else are we looking at over here? We've been live about 43 minutes. We're going to go a little bit longer, see what's coming on over here. It was about $1 billion in fines. They made about $14 billion, right? It was just under $1 billion in fines. They made $14 billion. No wonder they're manipulating the market. They have to manipulate the metals market. If they lose control of the metal markets, they lose control of the whole system. If you're invested in metals, it's insurance against the system. It's going to pay out one day. It's going to pay out, right? Boom, boom, boom. We start at 9 o'clock a.m. every day. There's information below. There's a Telegram group broadcast channel link below. Every time we go live, every time there's an upload, that's not just from me, also from Heath on Trade Talk, also from Brandon on Crypto Trades. That's posted to that Telegram broadcast channel, conquering the markets all day long. Let's see what else is going on out there. right? And physical premiums are on the way up right now, right? Last I checked, when I looked at APMX, I was looking at silver for what they have available, right? So you're seeing premiums are up right now. Here you go. That's the premium's not too high over here. $5. There you go. But on Silver Eagles, they're definitely way up. You know, there you go. You got some right there. APMX silver rounds. This is the brand APMX. They own still a $5 premium. That's expensive. That's very expensive. Is that going to continue, or are we going to see a bigger disconnect between the premiums on gold and silver going forward? Or are we going to start seeing it priced correctly over in Shanghai? And then is the market and the volume going to wind up moving towards Shanghai? You know, Russia, several years now, every month over month, getting rid of U.S. treasuries accumulating gold. I told you there's a reason for it. They are de-dollarizing. Just a couple of years ago, in 2018, I was having these conversations, and people would get really triggered when I talked about the fact that the world was de-dollarizing. That's not possible. It can't happen. You don't understand. Yeah, it's happening before your eyes. The U.S. used the dollar and sanctions as a financial weapon, and Putin had no chance but to de-dollarize. You're seeing it happen in China as well, right? The world is shifting. The world wants fairness. The world wants just. Is the dollar fair and just? No, right? Is Bitcoin fair and just? Yep. The fight began. The fight hasn't begun. The fight is we're in full swing over here. What do I think about the DAX? It's not interesting. I said going back months ago that in 2021, as we see, if we go back to growth, you could see the DAX perform very well, but it's underperforming U.S. equities by a large portion. Its equities are not interesting, so for sure the DAX is not interesting, right? Yeah. Listen, I will never at Theta. A lot of traders been following Theta. I don't know what's going on with it. I haven't looked at it in about a week or so. Let me take a look over here. Yeah, consolidating, gorgeous. That's the last time we looked at it, right, as it came back. Here's an example I was showing you on silver just now when I was saying silver could come back all the way back down and touch the end of that trend line, and that would have its bullish structure entirely in place. Here's a look at that happening right over here in real time, and you can see that we have this nice consolidation happening right over here, right? As soon as Theta breaks above, is that time to get in for another leg up? It sure looks like it, and it could be a big one. This was a big consolidation going on for quite a while over here. As in the next move on Bitcoin should be explosive. The next move on Bitcoin, the next leg up, I have us taking us towards on the $70,000, and then we'll watch it and see whether it's going to continue going above. Is it going to break above that resistance at 70,000 area and go straight above into the whole number 100,000, or are we going to have another pullback in that area? I don't know. We'll see what happens as it happens, right? So we just looked at silver. You can pull back a little bit. Look at silver if you missed it, and take a look at it. Industrial metals, not much going on over there, right? Let's take a look over here. Silver. Let me take a look at what's going on with copper. Copper getting ready over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful consolidation. Here's the trend line. On break above there, that sends copper, right? So that looks good. Let's take a look at the commodity index over there. Brent, I can't see inflation in front of my eyes. Johnson, nickel not doing anything. Palladium, no. These are not platinum. Consolidating well. Here you can see it, right? Are you pulled back into support? Is this a place to look to attack? Maybe. So that's it, everyone. That's it. No, I don't know, Gemma. I have no idea. Listen, I don't know. Check Binance USA. All right, everyone. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and prepare. I'm going to prepare for our live session starting in about 40 minutes. Everyone, have a beautiful day. Thank you for sharing this with me. Beautiful session. Well under 1,000 likes. That's fine. If you're watching this later in the day, If you're watching this later in the day, please get us up to 1,000 likes. Smash the like button. I'll see you all tomorrow for a Friday session. Will I have an afternoon update video? If there's something to talk about, and there might be with silver, you want to keep everyone over here just updated. We give a really good look. Maybe I'll even share a clip, a 2-minute clip of the video I did this morning with all of you, the minute and a half clip, right? If I think it's important, I'm going to share it again, and then I'll look in real time what's happening and go over with you. Make sure to keep everyone on the right side of the trade. Check in what's going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum. Check in on the DXY and the dollar. Whatever is relevant and important, I'll be there. Everyone, let's put some outro music over here. Sorry, pause. Let me pause that outro. I didn't want to talk about gold. For what reason? Yeah. So it's not that I don't want to talk about gold, but like I've made it clear talking about earlier in the session, like gold versus silver right now, no silver. Gold versus Bitcoin right now, no Bitcoin. I'll talk about gold, right, as I exit Bitcoin. That's when I'll be talking about gold, or if gold breaks out over here. But gold right now is into that area. You should be looking for it to hold this support, resumption off if you're interested in gold. Do I think you should be interested in gold? Yeah, it's shiny. But right now, at this point, with the Fed easing, is the gold the play? Compared to what? Compared to silver? No. Compared to Bitcoin? No. All right. Do I want to be. So, anyway. But, anyway, there you go. Yeah, I don't even read the headline. I read the article. I wasn't really too concerned. So the Bank of England has been signaling negative interest rates for a long time. We've seen that coming, been aware of that. But did they also say prepare for inflation or something like that? Maybe everyone else is starting to see inflation. I don't know. I'm not really so interested though. But yet, thank you for bringing that up. There's a headline I saw yesterday. I didn't read the article, but thanks for bringing that up for sure. I'm so sorry. I thought you guys could hear the music on my end. I thought you guys could hear the music on yours. I don't know why it's not playing. I see the system audio is not even like showing the green boom boom boom. So anyway, there is no audio. Sorry about that. And anyway, I don't mean to. Are there a lot of people interested in gold, and rightfully so, for sure. Listen, I'm more bullish on gold than I am a lot of other things. Gold, in my opinion, right now does not really compare though to whether you're looking at obviously Bitcoin, crypto, silver, that order. So, but yeah, gold right now though, you should watch what's happening over here into this trend line support, right? That's why I had that circle there, because that was an area to accumulate if we went into it, right? Where's your stop loss though? You gotta watch where you're putting your stop loss. We'll look at that later, maybe in the afternoon, and I'll talk about if we get an entry, where I put my stop loss and why, and give a couple of different options. So everyone, have a beautiful day. I'm gonna give a system restart, and I'll talk to you later.